What does Marie's victory over Godolkin truly mean? It's not just another explosive finale moment. It's the defining shift in Gen V that changes what it means to be a hero in the boys' universe. When Marie Moreau used her blood manipulation powers to destroy Godolkin in the Season 2 finale, fans cheered. But beneath the shock, the gore, and the pure adrenaline, there's something far deeper at play. That single moment wasn't just about defeating a villain. It was about dismantling everything he stood for: the corruption, the control, and the godlike arrogance that has plagued the Supe world since the very beginning. From the very first episode, Marie's journey has been one of pain, power, and purpose. She's the kind of hero this universe doesn't usually make room for, one born not from privilege or propaganda, but from tragedy. Her powers, drawn from her own blood, are as raw and disturbing as her backstory. They remind her of the night she accidentally killed her parents, a trauma that shaped her entire identity. For years, that guilt made her believe her abilities were a curse. Every time she used them, it was a reminder of her past, a scar she couldn't heal. But in the finale, all that changes. When she finally stands face to face with Godolkin, the man who embodied everything wrong with the world she's been forced to survive in, she takes control. She doesn't just use her powers, she owns them. That's what makes her victory so powerful. Marie doesn't defeat Godolkin by chance or luck. She does it by fully embracing who she is. For the first time, her power isn't a weapon of shame. It's a statement of freedom. She turns the very thing that haunted her into the force that liberates her. In a world where Vought teaches Supes to hide, conform, and obey, Marie's defiance is revolutionary. She kills not just the man, but the ideology behind him. Because Godolkin was never just a man, he was a symbol, a living embodiment of Vaught's darkest truths. His belief in creating a superior race of Supes, his manipulation of young students, and his godlike control over minds and bodies all stem from the same poison tree. Godolkin was what happens when power convinces itself it's righteous. He believed he was shaping the future, but what he was really doing was playing God, a God built on ego and domination. So when Marie ends him, it's not just personal, it's systemic rebellion. But what makes this moment truly fascinating is how messy it is. There's no clean-cut victory, no shiny hero saves the day moment. Marie doesn't give a speech, she doesn't show mercy, and she doesn't wait for approval. She just acts. It's raw, violent, and unapologetically human. And in the boys' universe, that's exactly what makes her different. Here, heroes aren't spotless icons. They're broken people doing their best in a system designed to corrupt them. Marie's triumph is soaked in blood, both literally and metaphorically, because that's the only kind of justice this world understands. Yet, even as she stands victorious, the question remains, what does victory really mean when the system that created the monster still exists? Godolkin may be gone, but Vought isn't. The machine keeps turning, the propaganda keeps spreading, and Homelander still reigns supreme. Polarity's ominous words, Vought is coming, hit harder than ever, because if there's one thing this universe has taught us, it's that killing one tyrant doesn't destroy tyranny. This system simply adapts. It finds new faces, new tools, new lies. So where does that leave Marie? Ironically, her victory may have painted a target on her back. She's proven herself to be more than a student, more than a pawn. She's a threat. Someone capable of shaking the foundation Vought has built its empire on. But rather than hiding, she steps into her power. That's what makes her so compelling. She doesn't crave fame or recognition. She's not chasing validation. What drives her is something far more dangerous: the desire for real change. Her evolution through the series mirrors the evolution of heroism itself in the boys' universe. Traditional heroes save lives. Marie saves meaning. She redefines what it means to be powerful by turning vulnerability into strength. Her connection with Emma, Jordan, and Kate further highlights this. Each of them has been manipulated, controlled, and broken by the system. Yet together, they form something Vought can't replicate: authenticity. Their bond isn't about fame or rank. It's about survival, empathy, and shared pain. They are the anti-Vought. And this is where Marie's victory becomes more than just a single act of revenge. It's the spark of a movement. When Starlight approaches her at the end, inviting her to join the resistance, it's not just a crossover moment between Gen V and the boys. It's a passing of the torch. Starlight represents the old rebellion, the one built on moral outrage and courage within the system. Marie represents the new rebellion, the one built outside it. Together, they symbolize two generations of women who refuse to be controlled by power structures designed to exploit them. It's poetic that Godolkin, who spent decades controlling others, is destroyed by the one person he could never manipulate. Marie is everything he feared: independent, unpredictable, and defiant. She breaks his illusion of control with pure willpower and a kind of moral clarity that he could never comprehend. While he saw power as something to hoard, she sees it as something to free. And that's what makes her so dangerous to the establishment. There's also an unspoken tragedy in her victory. Marie's act of killing Godolkin, while justifiable, also forces her to confront what kind of hero she's becoming. In a sense, she's crossed a line, the same line that separates savior from destroyer. But unlike Vaught's heroes, she doesn't lie to herself about it. She owns it. She accepts that heroism in this world isn't clean or merciful. It's messy, painful, and often necessary. That honesty, that self-awareness, is what sets her apart from characters like Homelander or even Starlight. Marie doesn't perform heroism. She lives it, even when it costs her pieces of her soul. Her journey in Season 2 mirrors the mythological arc of a fallen angel, someone who descends into darkness to find the light within. Every time she uses her powers, she confronts her trauma head-on. And when she finally uses them to destroy Godolkin, she's not just avenging her past. She's rewriting it. It's her way of saying, I'm not defined by what happened to me. I'm defined by what I choose to do with it. And what she chooses to do next could reshape everything. With Starlight extending her hand, we're seeing the bridge forming between GenV and The Boys Season 5. And Marie stands at the center of that union. Her strength, her perspective, and her unwillingness to play by Vaught's rules make her the perfect candidate to challenge the existing hierarchy. Imagine a world where Marie and Starlight stand together, one forged by pain, the other by exposure, uniting to bring down not just individuals like Godolkin, but the entire ideology behind them. That's not just storytelling, that's revolution. But here's what makes Marie's win truly powerful. It's not about destruction, it's about rebirth. By killing Godolkin, she kills the illusion that power equals divinity. She kills the idea that Supes must be controlled, trained, or shaped to serve corporate agendas. Her victory isn't about becoming the next leader. It's about proving that leadership doesn't have to look like dominance. It can look like compassion, resilience, and truth. When you watch that final scene, with blood in the air and silence hanging heavy, a new beginning emerging from the carnage, Marie's victory is a statement to every Supe who's ever felt trapped by Vaught's propaganda. You don't need their system to be a hero. You just need the courage to defy it. That's why her arc hits so deeply. It's not just about good versus evil. It's about freedom versus control. And in a world built on manipulation, freedom is the rarest superpower of all. Marie's blood powers, once a symbol of horror, have become the very thing that could liberate others. Every drop she spills is a reminder that real change doesn't come from the powerful. It comes from those who suffered under them. So yes, Marie's explosion of Godolkin was shocking, brutal, and unforgettable. But it was also necessary. It wasn't vengeance. It was evolution. A declaration that the age of false gods is over, and a new kind of hero is rising. One who doesn't hide behind brands or lies. Marie Moreau is that hero. Not because she's perfect, but because she's real. And maybe that's the most radical thing of all. In a world where heroes are manufactured, marketed, and manipulated, Marie stands as the first one who's truly free. Her victory isn't just the end of Godolkin's reign. It's the birth of a movement that will change the world of the boys forever.